There's an aspect in today's society that I think is so important with moving gun rights, gun advocates, the culture, the community all forward that I think some people in this community actually hate, and others outside of this community don't even realize that they're making more gun owners. That's what we're going to talk about today. So it's an exciting thing for me to think about. Video games and even Hollywood, I think, make a lot of gun owners. So let me state my case. Let me support what I'm going to say here with at least my opinion, and I want to hear yours after the end of the video on video games and Hollywood actually supporting gun rights. So if you're new here, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for joining me for today's video. I do a lot of concealed carry videos, tips here for y'all to make it an easier and better process all the way around so people can protect themselves. New concealed carry guns, pistols, rifles, like this new SIG MCX Spear in 7.62 by 39. So new, I don't even have an optic on it yet. Can't wait to get this one to the range. And a host more of gun-related content right here on the channel, dude. Make sure you subscribe while you're here if you like what I do, and consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss a video from me. Now let's jump right in. Now the SIG MCX Spear LT is so new, I haven't even shot it. I haven't even put an optic on it yet, much less shot it. But let me show you some guns that have Call of Duty has kind of pushed me over the edge to buy and review for y'all, and then tell you why I think video games and Hollywood are great for the gun community. Let's start with one of my favorite PCCs and one of the most recognizable guns from Hollywood to video games, the MP5. Now this is the closest MP5 you can buy. This is the SP5 made by HK on the same manufacturing line that the real MP5 is made. And this thing is fantastic. And when you pick it up, you slap the charging handle home, you pull the mags out, you recognize this instantly. And there's plenty of clones and everything else like that out there of the MP5, but this is the realest MP5, if you will. But regardless, how many people do you think play with this in Call of Duty and are like, dude, this thing is so cool, I have to have one? How many diehard fans do you think are there that have seen the movie every single Christmas? It is a Christmas movie, by the way. And are like, dude, I want one of those. I want the real deal. How is that a bad thing? Let me grab another gun and illustrate some more points around this. The recently reviewed Chris Vector, also known in Warzone as the Fennec 45 for some reason, but regardless, to the rest of the world, it is the Chris Vector. It looks like a space trooper, frickin' space age type of gun, but this thing is really awesome. Now, Call of Duty directly influenced me to finally buy this gun and review it for y'all. I've been looking at it for years and years and years, and then I finally just frickin' broke down and bought one. But I think there's a real resistance to the idea of video games and Hollywood making gun owners, because some people may see that as stupid. They may see it as like, well, that doesn't teach you how to shoot. You know, it's kind of silly. You bought a gun based on a video game. But what it does do is it puts that seed in the back of their head. So when they come into this, most people don't come into this, I know I didn't, like, man, I'm ready to defend the Second Amendment. I can't believe people want to take this away from me and all of this kind of stuff. They come in and they don't care about Hollywood and what actor said what about this gun and their politics and all that. They've seen their favorite movie. They want to buy a gun from that movie. Now, do I agree with what Hollywood actors say? No. Most of it is hypocrisy at its worst. But at the same time, when people that don't know see a gun in the movie, they're not thinking about that. So I think if we approach this like, hey, yeah, that actor kind of sucks. And I wish, I really wish, and I know this may sound bad to some people, but I really wish all actors, all people in Hollywood, all sports players, would just not even mention politics. I don't care what it is. I really don't care what they are one way or another. So we could never have this conversation again. All I wish I could say is, man, I really like his movies. Or I really like him in football or whatever. I digress. But new people coming into this, I would say generally are not going to care that that person doesn't really like guns in real life. They just use them to make all of their money in movies. It is hypocrisy at its worst, but at the end of the day, if we can make a new gun owner, that's where I would hold on to the idea that hopefully that person will look deeper into it and be like, man, you know what? They want to take these away from me. Why? No, that's ridiculous. This thing is awesome. Or, whatever. So that's kind of the rabbit hole I would hope that a lot of new gun owners go down, and you never know who that person is that just bought that Chris Vector or one of the most recognizable guns on the planet, the Scar 17. You never know who just bought that, who got into this because, again, of a video game, and now may become a spokesperson for the Second Amendment in the future. So I think it's something that should be valued. I understand the hesitation, but at the same time, I know for me personally what I have become because of just that little spark. Now, my spark was a little bit different. Mine was, I wanted to be able to protect myself, and I wanted Miss Headshot to be able to protect herself. I didn't want her to ever be in a situation where she was robbed again and not have some type of solution to potentially save her life. So that's where mine started. But regardless of where it starts, it's all about where it ends and what it ends up becoming in the long run, man. And people will start to vote a different way, think a different way when it comes to firearms when they become a gun owner, and see how truly incredible this is. Look, I'll admit to you right now, I never cast a single vote until 2016. 2014 is when I started my YouTube channel. So I can't tell you I would have never voted unless I got into firearms, but what I can tell you is that this was a big part of me voting and the way I vote and the way I think now. And obviously it started with something as simple as concealed carry, and it's turned into my lifestyle, my life, and my passion. Not only concealed carry, not only cool firearms, but the preservation of the Second Amendment. I hold that deeply. And I know I've skewed those lines before between concealed carry and Second Amendment and kind of misspoke on that, but just know the Second Amendment is what I truly care about. Everything else is secondary. I think anything that can make more of us and less people against us is always a great thing. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. So make sure you leave your opinion down below about video games and Hollywood and how that affects the gun community. Do you think that it makes new gun owners? Maybe you don't. Leave it down below. If you want to support what I do and check out some of the awesome tiers that I have for my patrons, I'll leave that link down below as well. About to give a shout out to some of y'all right now after the video. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.